Come here. Get off.
Hey y'all, so welcome to this week's episode of The Turn On. This is our first episode of season 4.
Welcome back, folks.
And for a little bit of extraness, you can see us.
If you're watching
That's
this.
my Walter Machado face.
And for those of you who are listening, you can head to YouTube and search the Turn On podcast to see us.
Of course, Kenrya knows to do the important stuff. I'm just over here acting a fool. So, this week we are going to read Fans Only, which was written by B Love published by B Love in 2020. So, sit back, relax, get your wine, your weed, and whatever you need, and enjoy.
Fans Only by B Love. Watching Aries struggle against the bondage had my dick throbbing. We decided tonight that we would try toys, and I honestly didn't know how much more I could take. At first, I didn't think getting a fuck machine was a good idea, but as I watched the dildo pump in and out of her as she moaned, I was starting to think she knew exactly what the fuck she was talking about. Her wrists and ankles were cuffed together and she was on her hands and knees in the middle of my bed. The mechanical dildo was on a medium speed. Her pussy lips were swollen, sucking the shit out of the dildo each time it pressed in and out of her. She was so fucking wet. The chocolate-colored, veiny, plastic dick had damn near turned white. The sounds of her moans permeated the room, and it was taking everything in me to not cut it off and dive deep. Crossing my legs, I looked at her lips as they trembled. She bit down on her bottom lip before moaning again. "That thing fuck you better than me?" I asked, standing and walking over to the bed. "No, never." "What's the difference?" With a smile, she looked at me with fluttering eyes. "This provides a good curve, but it doesn't offer the intimacy, sensuality, and connection you do. I can't kiss this, hold this, look into its eyes. There's no connection between me and this. It feels good as fuck, but no one or nothing has ever fucked me better than you." Having heard enough, I put the small box of toys on the edge of the bed before cutting the machine off. After unlocking the cuffs from her wrists and ankles, I placed Aries on her back. She drew in deep breaths, smiling as I spread her legs. "You remember your safe word?" She nodded. "What is it?" "Hulu." "Alright." I pulled the nipple pinchers from the box and placed them around her nipples. As soon as they were applied, she was moaning quietly and squeezing her legs together. I cut the vibrator on and placed it on her clit, moaning deep within my throat the moment she began to squirm. "How does that feel?" I checked, rifling through the box for something else to use on her. "So fucking good, Titan. Kiss me." Lowering myself to her, I kissed Aries, inhaling her moans. I moved the vibrator softly, pressing it into the top of her clit. She broke our kiss, mouth forming an O shape as her back arched. I never knew pleasing a woman could make me feel so damn good. The more I pleased Aries, the more satisfied I felt. I pulled away, tugging at the nipple pinchers. Loud moans erupted from her mouth as she fisted the sheets underneath her body. "I'm about to come, baby," she warned, trembling legs closing against my arm. I spread them again, looking back at the box. Using my free hand to grab the curved dildo that was inside, I looked down at her to gauge how long it would take her to come. Based on her trembling legs and bottom lips, I knew it wouldn't be long. I set the dildo down and focused on pinching her nipples and massaging her clit with the vibrator until her pussy walls began to pulse. Lowering my lips to her, I kissed her for as long as I could before her moans made it impossible. Once Aries came down from her high, I began to fuck her with the dildo, still playing with her clit and nipples. I never thought I'd see so much fucking cum. A woman so aroused, and I wasn't even going that damn deep and fast. I guess it was a combination of stimulation on so many sensitive parts of her body. Whatever the case, there was no doubt in my mind that this was going to be our most viewed video. When I couldn't take it anymore, I grabbed the butt plug and flipped her onto her back. "You trust me, Bella?" "Yes," she moaned, running her fingers through her hair and pulling it out of her face. "I need you relaxed. If it gets too intense, use your safe word." She nodded, looking back at me with a smile. "I can't wait to feel your dick inside me." With a low groan, I arched her back and lowered myself to her asshole. Licking it hard and slow, I kept her cheek spread as she pushed into me and moaned. My tongue slid across her opening and swiped her folds, licking up every drop of cum that had settled at the center of her. As I latched onto her clit, I wrapped my arm around her waist to keep her in place. I loved drying her with my tongue just to wet her all over again. When her moans turned into whimpers, I covered the anal plug with lubricant and got behind her on my knees. Slowly, I pressed it into her ass, leaning down on her back to whisper into her ear. Aries inhaled a deep breath, gripping the back of my thigh. I continued to ask her if she was okay as I entered her, not stopping until the full plug was safely inside. "How do you feel?" "Full?" "Good." I leaned up, settling at her opening. After running the head of my dick up and down her slit, I slowly pressed my way inside. She was tighter, hotter, and wetter than normal, and I didn't know how much I could take. Still, I dug deep, pulling her hair with one hand and gripping her waist with the other. Whimpers and moans poured from her as curses and moans poured from me. She felt so good. The tightness of the plug intensifying everything. Her body was shaking every time I dug deep, and the more she cried my name. My hand wrapped around her neck, pressing her face into the bed. The clear juice turned into white cum as her walls began to pulse. I tried to focus on anything, think of everything other than how good she felt, but it did me no good. The moment she fell into the bed as she came and those walls tightened against me, I was a goner. My seed shot deep into her core as I jerked and moaned her name, her real name. That would definitely need to be edited out. "Oh my God, Ricky," she slurred, gripping my thigh as I rested my back on her chest. "What are you doing to me?" "Making sure you lose your damn mind just at the thought of me." She chuckled, pulling in deep breaths. "You're doing more than that." And I was, but I didn't want to admit it. I was grounding and planting myself in her soul, going beyond a soul tie. I was rooting myself there. And I wanted to stay there because with Aries, that was the safest space with a woman that I had ever been in. I needed that safety, that security, for as long as I could experience it.
Okay, y'all, so we are back. Thank you, Killa, for that fabulous reading of what was a sexy motherfucking scene.
Yeah, spicy.
Yeah, it was real spicy. When I was reading this book, I was like, oh. Because there's like scene after scene after scene. We got to pick. So
Yeah.
some books, we just have one scene. This book had a good number of them, and they were great.
I mean, there's penis touching like right out the gate.
5-star. So, yeah, I loved it. So, just a little bit of background on the story. It's about these two people, Aries and Merrick. They are a part of like a larger friend group. They kind of have this love-hate relationship. I mean, I don't want to go as far as saying enemies to lovers, but a bit of that.
Yeah.
And they both have dreams of success, and all dreams need capital. And they were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's start an OnlyFans account. Mm-hmm. And they do, and hijinks ensue. ... Okay, so first, let's talk about, the sex scene was. Now y'all can see me acting a fool. The sex scene was dope as fuck. I think this is one of the first scenes that we've read where they've like actually used toys on each other. Like they did some bondage and right.
Yeah, I think so. It's so funny because we talk about toys so often, but you're right. I think we actually haven't had a bunch of books where they were used in the course of the story.
Using accoutrements.
Yeah.
So, but like, you know, I think one of the things that we say, one of the reasons that we say we like toys, or at least one of the reasons I like toys, is because it adds a little variety, a little extra.
Yeah. And the right toy can make sure that you always finish exactly the way that you want to finish.
Exactly. Okay, so let's just jump off into this OnlyFans thing, right? And we're gonna have a guest on, and she's gonna we're gonna talk more about like actual sex workers and sex work. But I know, like I have heard a million times, and maybe it's just me because I'm Erica and I am a sex person. So like random women come up to me and be like, my husband don't like me sucking dick, you know, so I get it. But
What?
I have heard more times than a few people say, I would totally start an OnlyFans. I would totally start an OnlyFans if I could hide my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay. I mean, I get it. But to me, it's kind of like, it just adds to the stigma of sex work.
Sure. But I think, remember when we started this show?
No. And so I literally have a note about that. So my question, because when we started this show, I was definitely on some like, Erica will stay somewhat anonymous.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's how we had illustrated headshots.
Yeah. And I mean, if you know Kenrya, like one trip on her Instagram account and like, you know who I am. So,
Right.
and then cancer hit. I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like, they're, not to be like, not all hoes, because I'm not all hoes, but I feel like that there's a difference between, okay, I got to keep this shit quiet because I don't want to fuck up my job, and I got to keep this shit quiet because I think that's what dirty people do. You know?
So that's the vibe that you're getting, is that they think that OnlyFans is
From some
dirty as
people,
opposed to, I don't want my boss to know. Okay.
Yeah, or like, I don't need my family to know, which again, like, we all fuck, right? Like,
my daddy
to
knows
me,
about this show, but I told him don't listen. And he said, okay.
oh, my aunt has, I don't know if she's listened to any recently, but she definitely,
I remember.
Yeah, she was so excited to find the show.
Did she have her white friend help her find it?
She had her white friend. Shout out to her white friend that helped her find the show. She called me. She literally called me. Get off! Come here! Get off! Come here! And I was like,
No.
not quite, but okay.
Fairly certain that my dad's wife listens, because she's like always liking posts, especially because she a Facebook person. And I'm like, okay, girl, enjoy. Don't tell him nothing.
Enjoy.
But it's not because I'm ashamed, just because I don't think he wants to know, and I know he don't.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I'd like, it irks me when people are like, I do OnlyFans, but I want to hide my face. And it's like, don't nobody want to see your half-limp fucking? Because as someone that records herself having sex, I will tell you, it is never what you think it looks like. I mean, I like it. I like to record, but in my mind, I'm like, and then I run it back and it be like,
It's like when we were dancing in the backyard the other day.
oh my God. So we had some girlfriends over and we did like a socially distanced backyard thing, and we were playing
And
music.
by girlfriends, we mean like it was like 5 of us.
Yeah, so it was like 5 of us in a circle around a fire pit. And we were we were playing music. And in my mind, I was like, like in my mind, I was really fucking it up. Like, go to Marcus, go to Marcus, go to Marcus, go to Marcus. But then Kenrya sent me video, and I was literally like this. Go Ethel. Go Ethel.
Your feet didn't move.
Go Ethel.
You weren't the only one.
Yeah. But what's even more fucked up, the next morning I woke up, and my thighs were hurting like I had been doing something. Like, you would have thought that I was like a Luke dancer the way my body felt. And I was literally like just,
Yeah.
Yeah. It was horrible.
Look, at least you got up. I sat in my chair until, wipe me down.
Was it
something?
Yeah,
it got up a
back that
little
ass
bit
up.
before.
I don't know. But even,
it's probably back that ass
even
up.
then, because, okay, back that ass up. For a woman of a certain age, it is your mating call. It is like the cuckoo, cuckoo. And
No,
I'm so
did you
I'm
see
so
that
mad y'all get to
somebody-
see this.
I know. Did you see this? It was sweet, but also made me feel really old. Somebody tweeted at us last night. They were like, listening to older ladies talk about sex, like, makes me talk about
What
having
the
good
fuck?
sex. I know. Makes me afraid of like what I gotta go through to get there. And I was like, oh, like one part of me was like, oh my God, thank you for listening, and I hope that this is helpful. And the other part was older lady. But we are finna be 40. So I guess technically, I mean, it's relative.
What the fuck?
You see it?
What the fuck?
And shout out to you for listening. This is not at all meant to. We're not upset with you. or
Oh
anything,
no,
but
I
it was
fucking
definitely a moment.
appreciate it. But yeah,
I was sitting with in the bed with my partner, and I was like, "What am I supposed to say to this?" I closed it. I was like, "I'll let Erica respond." Because I was
okay, I'll
kind
have to respond. But yeah, damn, we are older. In my mind, I am young.
relatively.
I am fucking it up.
shoulder.
Look at that shoulder. Look at that shoulder. Is that the shoulder of an old bitch? No. In my mind, I am like fucking it up. Like, go to Marcus. Go to Marcus. Do you know what that is? It's like something
Vaguely.
it's like a Vine or maybe a TikTok. To go to Marcus. Go to Marcus. Go to Marcus. And yeah, I'd be like an old lady, like,
But we have fun.
hitting a body roll.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You
Okay.
can't go wrong with a good body roll.
So,
Yeah, older lady. It's
Okay.
been playing in my head since last night.
and now now I gotta see it. Okay, so,
sorry.
I am thinking about, so the sex stigma, if I do OnlyFans, blah, blah, blah. Posing a question, would you do OnlyFans if there wasn't a stigma around, like, sex work? Like, with, like...
No, because I don't think I don't think anybody wants to see that.
It's not your jam.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I enjoy myself. I got the things that I do. But also, because I have the things that I do, like, I know what I got to do to make me come, and I know what I got to do to make my partner come. And you only want to watch that a couple of times, honestly, because it's
And, like, I mean, I am definitely a don't give a fuck y'all, I'm on my own shit type of bitch. But I do feel a little, like, judgy about like, when I come, I don't need you to see how my fucking legs lock like a goat and I, like, fall off the dick.
Right.
Like, I don't need that. Like, I don't need that.
Right.
But
yeah, and like one of the best parts about like my sex with my partner is the talking and the laughing and like him, making fun of me because of what I do when I come and that kind of stuff. And that's not going to be fun to anybody except for us. So,
and I don't need y'all talking about the way I come. Like,
right.
He can't, but you can't.
Exactly. So yeah, I just don't think it'd be very interesting. And then, also, super honest moment, like I'm very critical in some ways on some days about my body, and I don't need everybody seeing nothing. So
yeah, I don't need
I share my body
like,
with the folks who I want to.
Yeah. But those people that can and do, I appreciate it because it's you are a very integral part of my situation.
Right.
But I don't think I can personally do it, you know?
It's literally just because I don't think anybody really wants to see it. And It's fine. I enjoy it.
Somebody does, but
Probably,
yes, I get the
but-
idea. Because there's a itch, a scratch for every itch, and your scratch may be a whole niche industries niche.
Oh, yes, injuries.
Okay,
I'm an
so
older lady.
I'm literally gonna screenshot this, and I mean I'm gonna like take her out, but yeah. Okay,
For real though. Shout out to you for listening. I don't want.
Yeah,
this to
I
feel
mean, like,
you're
yeah,
upset,
like
you know.
I totally. I'm trying to see how old it. Black queer feminist ones. Oh, yeah, you're already
Yes.
just like adorable.
Our baby. Yeah.
But yeah. All right, we some old bitches.
That's
We some
fine.
old
We've been
bitches.
through some things that got us here.
We've been through some things. Okay,
And honestly, so I know tangent. Last night my partner was like, I saw somewhere and they asked like if you could be 25 again, like forever, would you? And I was like, fuck no.
fuck no.
He was like,
Well,
right. He was like, well, okay, what if it
If
was
I had
if you had your
this
25-year-old body?
Okay.
Right. I was like, I'll take my 25-year-old body because I worked and I worked out. That was it. I ain't had no money, so I wasn't like going out a lot of places to eat. I was living in New York and broke as hell. So
Girl,
I literally
I was
worked
hungry
out
today,
and
so I
worked.
ordered sushi. Like,
Yeah, like I worked out 3 days a week at work, 5 days a week at home. My body was my favorite at that point. Although looking back, I needed some sandwiches. Which is what I ate for lunch every day because the bitch was broke.
ooh, I could go for a good tuna sandwich. Maybe don't make some tuna.
But I was a dummy.
Girl, as a box of rocks, like God protects babies
Yeah.
and fools, and his ass was out protected. My foolish ass. So
Yeah, and I'm enjoying my life so much more now. Like I have so much like actual joy that I wouldn't trade that. So yeah.
okay, all right. So there was one line in this book that like you didn't read it, but it stood out to me, and this is one of my like central questions now as I date, particularly with the podcast that like gives you like an inside look at Erica's mind.
Yeah.
So there was a line that says, even if we were dating, this is Aries talking to Merrick. She's like, even if we were dating, I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you what I need because you could use it to trap me and then stop when I love you or when we're married. And that was like, whoo, because that's how I feel. Like, how do you balance like not expecting your partner to understand what's going on in your head, like not expecting your partner just to guess what you're thinking, with at the same time not giving this nigga a playbook to like fucking curry me, you know?
Yeah, I don't balance that because I'm not gonna say, oh, because my man is great, although he is. No, I'm gonna say because I've gotten to a point where I put time and energy into someone who I could trust in that way. I have not always done a good job of balancing that before and ended up in relationships with people who had not earned my vulnerability in that way and my trust in that way. And so I'll say all that to say it's hard as fuck.
I mean, because my question is like, well, how do you know if they've earned it, or could they just be window dressing until they gotcha, bitch?
So, okay. So going back to like that whole process that I went through with our therapist, right? First, I had to abstain from talking, texting, dating, everything. And then once I started dating folks, there was a 90-day probation period in which I had to like really not give up too much, not move too fast, like really dig into who this person was and spending time with them. Because
And that's not like a 90-day sex rule, right?
no, oh no, I was
Okay.
it was it takes about 90 days for a mask to drop, to slip. So look to see if something falls. And it was also like going back to that whole list, those two lists that we talked about last season, right? The list of does this person meet these not superficial criteria that I put in place, but more importantly, how do I feel when I'm with this person, and really getting to learn how to trust myself again. And I think that was really the key for me, because before I could learn to trust a partner, I had to learn how to trust my intuition. Because so often alarm bells would be going off right from the beginning with people. I mean, remember, I went on that one date and had a panic attack as soon as I got home, and still went on another date. Like, the fuck? Mm-hmm. So, like, doing the work in therapy, honestly, to get to the point where I could trust myself. And so if I had any inkling, like, you know, I think people, and I know I've done this, look for a reason, like you have to have a reason to not want to be with someone, instead of realizing that any reason that you have is a reason. Yeah. And I used to like need them to do something, or for there to be some reason for me to leave, as opposed to just saying, this doesn't feel right. My stomach hurts when he calls. I can't put my finger on it, but something just doesn't feel like it's right for me. And once I started actually trusting my gut, that's why, we joke about me being the queen of blocking niggas, but that's really what it comes down to, is that I started listening to my gut the first time it said something, whether that was while we were still on an app, the first time he texted me, the first time we got on the phone. If anything doesn't feel right, I send it was really great getting to know you, but I don't think we're a good fit. I wish you well. And I send it, and I hit block, and I keep it fucking moving. And so that was about trusting myself. And once I learned how to trust myself, I was able to give people that time to then get to decide if I could trust them. And once I got there, which has only been with this one person in all this fucking time that I was trying to date, then it allowed me to be able to let my guard down and be vulnerable. But it really started with me.
So, remember last season, weeks ago, we were
so long ago.
So remember last season there was a pleasant guy where he was nice, but it was just pleasant, and I was looking for passion. Mm-hmm. So I finally cut things off with him.
I figured, because you hadn't mentioned him.
But the thing is, I was a bitch about it. Like, I could have been more upfront. I just kind of like slowly creeped to the back, and then he was like, "Hey, you're pulling back," and I was like, "This is why," But part of what made it
saying something.
Oh, he like, and that's the thing. Like, everything was right about him. It just didn't, feel right. And that's what I had to tell him. I hate to be on some like, it's not you, it's me type shit, because most of the time it's you, nigga. But like, he checked all the boxes. He was nice. He was, he talked, like, he checked literally all the boxes. He would be great for someone. It's
not true.
It wasn't there. And I think because I went through kissing so many frogs, that when I did meet, I say kissing frogs, some of these niggas was just not for me. Like, somebody would love that fuck shit, just not me.
Yeah.
This dude really like hit all, like, firing on 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, 8. How many cylinders? Firing all cylinders. Firing on all cylinders. He had everything, but it just wasn't there. And it wasn't even like a bad feeling. It was just like
it's not it.
Yeah. So it was difficult, because, people pleaser Erica, codependent Erica was still, the bitch ain't always there, but she was like in the back, and I was like, ugh. So, but I got through it, and I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah. And I think, doing that sets us up to be able to let our guard down and trust the right person. Let the right one in. That's the title of a horror movie.
That's what she said.
No.
Let the right one in. No.
Oh yes. That works.
Jeez, oh please.
Yo, where is my shirt? Do you still have yours?
No, because I think it had a hole, like it got a hole in it. But also you bought it when I was a much smaller person, so I looked very Sausage.
Like
That's
that.
a sausage.
Okay.
Very sausagey in it.
I don't know where mine is. I think I might have had to let it go because I know the lettering has started to crack. We have That's What
Yeah.
She Said shirts from
But it
when I
said-
was pregnant.
It said, that's what, and then it's like,
She said. She.
No,
yes,
it was just,
yes.
that's what,
That's
and then
what
she.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
cute.
It
All
was cute.
right.
Like
Which,
almost 10 years ago.
on a tangent, The Office had the best series finale out of any series that I've watched thus far. Not saying it was the best. I mean, I
don't
love The
remember the
Office,
finale.
but you don't remember the series?
Was it a
finale?
wedding?
It was Dwight's wedding. They finished
Yeah,
the tour. I mean, the show, and then they did a reunion, and everybody came back, and so it had enough of like the reunion-y aspect, with also the like we're wrapping it up and putting a bow on it. It was definitely not that bullshit Game of Thrones, but it was great.
Still angry about that, honestly.
And that is why The Office is always on my TV.
Yeah, we
like
watch
The
it a lot
Office.
too on the weekends.
The Office is like my Matlock. You know how you would always go to your greenhouse and Matlock,
Matlock
be
is
on?
on.
Or like Perry Mason. That is me. Like, I wake up and I turn on The Office. When I finish up working today, I'm going to go and turn on The Office. And it
So
stays
we
on.
do that with Golden Girls on the weekends. Like, we wake up
Yeah.
and we put on Golden Girls.
Golden Girls is definitely an alternate, but The Office, like, nonstop. My child will be old and gray and be like, my mama used to watch The Office. So, you know, whatever.
Why not?
Okay. Do you think that there's a level of, so one of the things that I do when I'm dating, somebody drove down the street bumping Keith Sweat.
Is that what they were playing?
"Girl, I've been thinking about you all day long." Okay.
It's a good sunny day for it.
It's cold as fuck though.
It is. I went out to the porch for a second to get the mail, and I was deceived. I needed my fucking coat.
So when I'm dating, I try not to overthink it. I just do what feels natural to me. And I'm like, if this isn't enough, or if this is too much, then obviously I'm not the person for you.
Yes.
And that's how I feel with like guys doing stuff, or people doing stuff. Like, so,
What do you mean?
huh?
I'm asking for clarification.
Yeah, so like I shouldn't have to ask you, and this is the whole balance thing. Like, I shouldn't have to ask you, hey, I can't think, but like, hey, do this. Like, if it's not in your nature to do this for me, then, and so that's what the balance thing, because it's like, yeah, you're not gonna know everything, but at the same time, like, you need to have it in you a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna disagree with you, and I'm gonna disagree.
I need feedback. That's why I'm asking.
Because niggas ain't mind readers any more than you are. Like, yes, basic courtesy. Like, don't let the door hit me when we walking out.
Yeah.
Like basic stuff. But how is somebody supposed to know that one of the things that you want your partner to do is to drive on every date, or that I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that
people,
would be some shit that I would like.
Uh-huh.
Like, he
made me meet him. Well, nigga, you didn't tell him that that's not what you want.
Could you mind your business, bitch?
So I'm just saying, like,
But no, that's the thing.
And-
like,
and-
I'd be like,
and so that's what, I think that so often when people are in the getting to know you stage of dating, they shy away from the compatibility conversations. So, you might talk about what happened at work that day, or I don't know, what your mama told you today. But like, are people having, and some of this is deeper, right? But do you want kids? Do you have kids? How many kids do you want? Conversations. They're avoiding the you know, I'm really unhappy in my job and I want to make this transition to this thing. I think I only really want to be in this area for another year or so, and I probably want to move to California conversations. You know, it's really important to me that my partner be interested in moving in together within the next year. Like, those conversations that will fundamentally let you know whether or not somebody is for you, I think we don't use those 3 months, those 90 days in an intentional way to actually try to figure out.
We just existing.
Like, you should be using that time to figure out if someone is a match for you, not just if y'all have fun in the bedroom or on the couch or in the car. Though that's an important part of that, but you know, if y'all like the same restaurant, that's cool, but it's not the only thing, right? Like, how often are you at home? Like, you know, my partner like to be out and I like to be in the motherfucking house. So we had to figure out what our balance is and how do we make that happen. So before pandemic, we would always go out.
I was about to say, after pandemic, you're going to have to give him a little bit more. Just for like a good, smooth, 90 days. 90 days is 6 months. He needs, you got to make it up, bitch.
But we used to go out every Friday and Saturday because that is what he loved. And the rest of the days, we was in the motherfucking house unless there was a specific event on a weekday because I don't like it. And so that was how we figured out our balance. And so you can't figure out your balance if you're not talking about it.
Yeah.
So, like, asking the questions that feel difficult or asking the questions that are important to you, they don't have to be difficult, but if, you know, being able to go out to eat is important to you, you got to say something.
Yeah.
Maybe that nigga like to cook every night. Or maybe he expects you to cook every night. Right. Yeah. Conversations.
Okay. Well, I like it. So, side note, they had a shout out to Olive Garden in this book. Like, they were like, we're going to roll over to Olive Garden. I literally highlighted it, underlined it, and wrote in all caps, classy.
Yes.
I love Olive Garden.
It's so good. It's so good. We've gotten it, like, I think twice during the pandemic.
I like Olive Garden, and I know how to prepare it. That's how you know I'd be like, because I know exactly how I want it done. I get lasagna, and then I get the meat sauce on it, but then I also get a side of the Alfredo and pour it on top too, so it's like
I've had to place that order for you. Remember we did Olive Garden on New Year's Day one year? We had the kids.
Yeah. And I was like, make sure we get, it's pretty,
I mean, you know what you like.
When, that's how you know you old. When I have my mouth set on something, when my mouth is fixed for something, it needs to be right. It needs to deliver, or we're going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be real disappointed. Yeah. Either way, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on this kind of friends to lovers, not quite. Not friends to lovers. Enemies to lovers, but not quite. Mm-hmm. Merrick and Aries, they're part of this bigger friend group. And it's more like why you always fucking with me? You know, like that kind of conversation.
Posts at her all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there's another story that I'm reading for the show, and that shit, I'm like, I would have donkey kicked that motherfucker square in the forehead, like right here. Ugh. But anyway, but at one point, she was like, when they started fucking and doing their OnlyFans together, at one point, she was like, you know, why you being so nice? Or why have you changed stuff up? And this nigga said, as long as you are letting me into your sacred space, I am going to worship you. Mm. That was so beautiful and hotep-y and not a hotep way.
I'm about to say,
right?
You see me, it makes me internally roll my eyes, but also I like the turn of phrase. As a writer, I like it, but as somebody who has been with hoteps, I'm like,
No, but I thought that was really, I think that that's important because, like, again, we go on this whole, like, boys are assholes because they like you tangent. And it's like, no, if this motherfucker, if you're letting him
into your
be a part of your space, like in part of your body,
like,
but you know,
just in your body,
like,
in various places
in your orbit. Like, if I'm letting you in, if I didn't fucking pull down the drawbridge and let your ass in, nigga, act like you got some fucking sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he got some act right.
He got some act right in the way of pussy.
Yeah.
And he knew how to act. He knew what to do. I thought that was really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Final piece. This is a spoiler, okay? This is a spoiler. If you haven't read and you want to read, stop listening now because this is a spoiler. But it's something that I need to address because it kind of bothered me about the book. This is a spoiler. Okay. I love this book. B Love is an amazing writer because, like, you know, with me, it take me a minute. Like, I was hooked from the moment that I started the book. Love the book, love the book, love the book. But at the end of the book, so Aries and Merrick wants to be like a music producer. So he's like scraping up his OnlyFans money, saving his OnlyFans money so he can like build a studio. Aries wants to be a fashion designer, and she's saving her money because she lives at home. Oh, also, I love affluent black folk, like, or just black folk that like take care of their kids, and not in a, wow, that came out really fucking wrong. But you know, like, Aries is like in her mid-20s still living at home. Why? Because her parents was like, why are you worrying about going, you know, being out in the world?
It's something we need to normalize. I mean,
yes.
You see, my partner's, his family's immigrants, and he's like, all of this move. I mean, he did move out at 18, but his sister still lives at home. Like,
yeah.
And he was like, it lets you get your shit together before you go out into the world. Like, why wouldn't you give your kids that gift if you could?
Yes. And so I love that about it. But one of the things that she was doing was she was at home saving her money so that she could move to California and be a intern under this fashion designer or whatever. And so that happily ever after, they're together. And she gets the internship, and it's like at some fashion show, they announce it, and she gets her internship, and it's like, whoa. And then, you know, cue the music. But then this nigga Merrick gets down on one knee and proposes to her.
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand how, you know, like, I love you so much, and I want, you know, like, I want this to be the cherry on the top, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm like, yo, just give her 2 really special days, right?
Yeah, don't combine them shits, but also don't make this about you.
Yeah, but I don't think
that was his motivation, but
that it makes it about him. They look at it like, they probably look at it like, I'm making it about her because she gets a really nice ring and da 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 da. But yeah, like, I was just like, oh, man.
And then there's also always this little piece of me that's like, so now I'm worthy because I just, like, accomplished this thing. So, you know what I mean? Like, was you on a fence, my nigga? Was you just carrying it around until I tiptoed over the you earned it barrier? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
do it another day. That's also how I feel about people who propose at other people's weddings.
Yeah.
It's like a huge movie trope, and I hate it. It happens in books, actually, a lot of these books too.
I think also we have all been in a relationship where, I mean, like, we've all been at the point where you're at a wedding and you're just kind of swept up in the love, and you're like, oh, this is nice, nigga. I don't want you to
somebody
feel like,
pay for it.
Yeah, I don't want you to feel like you swept up in and you love me, so you're like, let's do it together. No, nigga, like, sleep on that shit.
Right. Especially if you don't have a ring.
Yeah.
Like, don't put no fucking Fruit Loop on my finger.
I love
a gummy worm.
Let's not speak ill of Fruit Loops.
Yo, I don't think I've had Fruit Loops. We used to get them the little boxes. With the
your
little
daughters had Fruit Loops in the past.
Oh,
year.
I know, at your house.
Yeah.
I don't think, and she had some at my sister's house.
And then she'd be like, can I get a little bag? So
I bought her some organic Fruit Loops, and she didn't eat them. She didn't even taste them though.
Beets,
I'm certain they
dye,
sound good.
like red dye made from beets, and
yes,
ain't
Red
the
dye is
same
dangerous.
as fucking
Red dye number 5 is dangerous.
in large quantities.
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
was
let's
trying
just-
to let her have the best of both worlds. Let her have.
There's no best of both worlds with Fruit Loops. It's either a fucking Fruit Loop or you're eating like
well,
ashy loops.
Then I guess she ain't gonna have that shit. I tried.
Fruitacious loops. She'll get Fruit Loops when she come down here. Okay. So yeah, that just kind of made me like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a great story. I loved it. I thought it was great. I do like the idea of the OnlyFans being kind of a jumping off point for it because everybody on OnlyFans. And I don't know. I feel like everyone's on OnlyFans, right? But because I am in a world of like very sex positive people, maybe they're not, and it's just in my world everybody's on OnlyFans. It's kind of like when you're in DC and you're like, oh, these black people, and you go out and you're like, oh wait, that ain't it.
It's a lot of white people. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm also in this situation. I don't know.
But I feel like
my
there's
guess
been-
is that everybody knows somebody who knows somebody, whether they know it or not, who has an OnlyFans, right? So it's just a matter of how open people are about what they're doing.
Yes. Well, if you have an OnlyFans and want to tell us about your experiences, particularly why you chose to do it, let some players know.
Yeah, for real. Email us at theturnonpodcast@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Okay.
And maybe we'll have you on.
Yes. So with that, we'll take a quick break and then we will go to our next segment. What's turning us on?
Hey y'all, today's a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or just think it'd be fun to have your own show like us, podcasting is an easy and inexpensive way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands-on and the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show gets put online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google, everything really, within minutes of finishing and uploading your recording. We use it here for the Turn On, and I can testify to the fact that it's pretty fucking dope. That is actually really, really true. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you to succeed. So join over 100,000 podcasters just like us who are already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Just click the link in our show notes and you'll be able to get your own account set up. If you sign up for a paid plan, you'll get a $20 Amazon gift card and you get to support our show. That's important. Let's create something great together. Sign up for Buzzsprout today.
Okay. I was on mute, so you missed the first part of mine today. Okay, so what's turning us on? What's turning me on right now? Sometimes they're called jiggle balls. Sometimes they're called Benoit balls. I don't know. But here
I
these
should
are
have got mine. Mine are silver and
You see the click clackle?
yeah.
So, these little balls, you put them up your vagina. You know how they say when you do Kegels, it kind of helps you. This is the same concept. You put it up there. It's a little weight and it kind of,
It's
you
like
know.
walking around with you know they ain't those ankle weights, which I have
Yeah,
some for when I
exactly.
walk. It's like having an ankle weight but for your pussy.
up your pussy.
Yeah, it helps to strengthen your pelvic floor.
Yes. So, some of them, like this. Can you hear that?
A little bit,
Can you hear
yeah.
the rattling? So, some of them have like a little tiny ball, like a hard ball. It's more compact ball inside of a bigger ball, which is what mine do. So, like if you're like on a boat and then it's like,
And mine has like a jingle bell in it.
It'll-
I wish I had it. It's like tinkle,
Okay.
tinkle, tinkle, tinkle.
so, I like it because yes, it also helps keep that grip, that ultra monkey grip tight. But I like it because it's not necessarily a sex toy, but it can be because I like mind control, Debo. Mind control. I will text a picture of this to a boo in the morning.
Mm.
And by the time they see me, they'll be like, and it just gets them all excited, knowing that, I mean, I usually don't wear it all day. I don't think you're supposed to wear it all day. But, you know.
It's not necessary.
These niggas don't know. They don't know. So anyway, I like it because not only does it help keep the coochie grip on Gorilla Glue status, but but it also serves as kind of a cute little reminder to your bae or boo that, you know, like, I got some things going on. You thinking about some things. So there you go. Jiggle balls, Benoit balls.
Yes. I watched a movie. Oh, shit. It's part. I told you, my partner and I have been watching like Korean movies. God. It's The Handmaiden. So those figure quite prominently. It's a very good movie, and I don't want to say shit because I don't want to give it away because it's one of these where you don't know what's happening. But a set of those figures quite prominently as an actual sex toy in that movie. Highly recommend The Handmaiden.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we will include a link for these in our show notes. And so you can go there, click, and shop to your heart's content.
Yes.
And also support the turn on. So, with that said, I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Of our first episode of season 4. This is Erica and Kenrya. 2 hoes. Come on, Kenrya.
Really? Okay.
Erica and Kenrya. 2 hoes making it clap.
See,
This is why, dear listener, this is why this happens this way. Bye, y'all.
peace.